My educational experience has been interesting because when I was in primary school, I couldn't go to school. I have something called epilepsy, so I didn't go to school. Throughout secondary school, like I said, when I went to one of the worst schools in the country, I didn't think I'd even get any GCSEs. The fact I got any GCSEs is a miracle.
So, but you also got into one of the country's best universities, Durham.
But I did it
But that's
twice.
been a disappointment, hasn't it? Because that's all sort of COVID up to
as
well, isn't it?
So for me, I felt like I never got the chance to prove myself that I really wanted to. And I think a lot of people felt the same, and we were absolutely robbed. I mean, from young age to year 13, these exams are shoved down your throat every single day, and we never got to sit them.
So, I mean, you've got a very bright future, quite rightly so. You fully deserve it, making quite a name for yourself. But what about some of your friends back home? What about the rest of the kids? I mean, they're going to find it difficult to launch their lives. I mean, apart from the fact this is the time where you're supposed to be getting your education, you're supposed to be taking your exams off to university and all that. Apart from the fact of the education, these are also supposed to be the best years of your life. University is supposed to be the best fun you ever had. Now you went and basically, well, I don't know quite what it was like.
Well,
for
I'm
you at
online
first,
now. That's
but
why I'm here.
Online Zoom and all that. I mean, this bit you're being deprived of your youth, if I may say so.
Yeah, 100%. And people will always go, "Oh, it's just a mask." It is a lot more than that. And if you think it's just a mask, then you are probably one of the most ignorant people in this country, to be quite honest with you, and I have no reservations about saying that either. There has been a member of Scottish Parliament who basically come out and called me a liar for saying what my experience was in schools, which is obviously incredibly rude.
Yeah, there is that. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I mean, what's the future for you then? Are you going to stay at Durham?
No. I'm going to be honest, no, it's not worth it. I mean, you cannot tell me that £9,000 for a glorified YouTube video, and these universities are offering a much lesser standard of education for the same price, and there is no way that they can justify that. It is just not possible. And I think that every single student in this country that has been caught up in universities for lifestyle choice should demand their money back. Absolutely demand our money back. And this is the annoying thing in the pandemic. People who have, been caught out of work, they've got furlough, self-employed people, businesses have got financial help. What have we got? Nothing. We've had our lives destroyed for a pandemic that doesn't affect us, and then nothing has helped us either.
That's the point, that young people weren't really affected. I mean, the numbers of kids who died from or with COVID were
I'll be honest with you, Kevin. When all of this was going on, I was more scared about what the government were going to do, and I was completely and utterly just dreading the restrictions that they were going to bring. I'd literally cry every night at the thought that they were going to cancel my exams again and they were going to close the schools. I didn't care about COVID.
Did you get to take your exams?
No.
Because you see, I think that was an abrogation of duty on the part of the schools. I think abandoning exams. Okay, they said, we have no choice, so it'll have to be done by guesstimation. Well, that's just not acceptable.
No.
I mean, this idea, we found a good blueprint for the future here. We won't have exams ever again.
Yeah.
No, kids should have exams.
Kids, I'm telling you now, so right now there is an entire sixth form, so sixth form is year 12 and year 13. There is an entire sixth form full of kids that have never sat a GCSE in their lives, and if these kids don't do their exams this year, they're going to send those poor year 13s to university having not done their GCSEs or their A-levels, so they're going to send these kids into university having never ever done a proper formal exam in their lives. They are setting them up for failure. Cancelling the exam is not an option this year. It cannot happen. It simply cannot.